right, we're gonna hit everybody's sign right about here. We're gonna start off with what they say is the hottest sign in the galaxy. And if it happens to be yours, I wanna hear from you. Sagittarius. What about Capricorn? What about Gemini? What about Leo? What about Virgo? And Aquarius. Hey, what about Taurus? What about Aries? Hey, Pisces, you fish. Well, son, I know it's alright. Hey, well, let's talk about Scorpio. Hey. What about Cancer? Let's talk about Right about here, we're going to tell you exactly what the whisper signs happen to be. It's going to go a little something like this. Bring it on!
That's right, bring it on. Coming to you from New York City, you're watching a special edition of Astrology Numerology Now. I'm your host, Z Starman, professional astrologer numerologist, and on this special edition of Astrology Numerology Now, we're going to focus on some of the July 2018 astrology and numerology highlights. That's going to be, I think, a game changer, and it's going to be life-turning for everyone, regardless of what your zodiac sign is or what your birthday numbers are. So let's get started and let's get to the point. Now, the big thing that we have coming on the horizon for July 2018, and that is on July 26, 2018, is the beginning of Mercury retrograde season. Mercury will be retrograde in the sign of Leo from July 26 to August 19, 2018. So basically, this retrograde is going to have an impact on Leo people, especially Leo people who were born around 23 degrees. For your seasoned astrologers watching, this retrograde begins at 23 degrees of Leo. So if you have a birthday on or about, let's say, August 15th to about July 30th or July 25th, this retrograde is going to be very challenging for you. And retrogrades are a cosmic timeout. What is a retrograde? Let's say for you New Yorkers who ride the subway on a daily basis, retrogrades, or when a planet retrogrades, it doesn't just stop, say, hold up, wait a minute, and moves back in its orbit. What's happening is a change of speed of how fast the planet is moving, spinning, or turning. Now, let's say we can compare this. Most New Yorkers ride the subway. So if you're a New Yorker who, let's say you're on the A train and you pass the C local, or let's say if you're on the number 2 train and you pass the 1 local at times appears to be moving backwards. That's the same thing what a retrograde does. The planet, it's not moving backwards, it appears to be. And during any retrograde, and we have several planets retrograde, and with this Mercury retrograde, it'll be the 5th planet that's retrograde at the same time. So that's why this Mercury retrograde is important. This Mercury retrograde will be joining Pluto retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, Saturn retrograde in the sign of Capricorn also, Neptune retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and Mars retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. And along with this upcoming Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo, there will be 5 planetary retrogrades happening simultaneously at the same time. So it's very important that we all be mindful during this Mercury retrograde, especially my friends who are fixed signs, especially the Leos, because this retrograde is going to affect your personal self. And wherever Leo is in your astrology chart, you have to know what this retrograde is doing. Again, the retrograde is coming up from July 28th to August 19th, 2018. What we're looking at now is an actual picture of the planet Mercury. Mercury is colorful, just like we see pictures from outer space of the Earth being colorful and Venus being colorful, but this is what Mercury retrograde looks like or the planet Mercury looks like from outer space. So be mindful of Mercury retrograde. So what are some of the things that we're minded or reminded to do during Mercury retrograde? Again, it's a cosmic timeout. And as I've said for so long, a Mercury retrograde is a time for, and here's the list: repair, renegotiate, reconnect, redo, review, especially you Leos, and if you have Leo rising sign, reconsider, reschedule. Maybe you can put off some important surgery that you're having, and you may want to reschedule that, especially you Aquarius people, because Mars is in the sign of Aquarius. So Mars is going to be opposing, Mercury retrograde will be opposing Mars and Leo during this time. So Leos and Aquarius also think about elective surgery, if it's simple or if it's complicated. If it's complicated, unless it's life-threatening, you may want to consider putting it off. So it's about Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is actually an 8-week period. For you seasoned astrologers and people who know astrology, Mercury went into the shadow of its retrograde on July 7th. It means it's starting to slow down. On July 26th, that's when the actual 3-week, or at this point, 24-day retrograde period happens. That's when it starts to go retrograde. And then for the last 3 weeks, Mercury has to come out of the shadow of its retrograde or get back to the place where its retrograde began at a roughly about 23 degrees of Scorpio. 23 degrees of Leo. So Mercury will have been in the sign of Leo for the last 2 months or the last 60 days. So there's a lot of decision making for those who are sun sign Leos and those who are Leo rising sign. And if you want to know how this Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo, where it is in your chart, we're all affected by it, I want you to give me a call. Let's show them my contact information control room. You can call me directly. Hey, say, Z Starman, how is this Mercury retrograde affecting me in the sign of Leo? What house is it affecting me? What kind of aspects that it's having as far as I'm concerned? Again, you can call me at 646-389-1311. Or you can reach me on any of the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can call me directly, or you can email directly at astrologylover@hotmail.com. But I'm old school. The fastest and the quickest way to get at me is 646-389-1311 is the number to call. Now, let's talk about more July 2018 highlights. Name of the show is Astrology Numerology Now. What's happening numerology now, right now? What's going on? Numerology-wise, July 2018 is a number 9 universal month. It's a number 9 universal month. How do we get to the number 9? So, doing a little numerology mathematics, July is the 7th month. So we're going to take that and add it to the current year of 2018. So 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 equals the number 18. And the laws of numerology, we say, is we have to reduce that number. So we're reducing 18 to a single digit number, and 1 plus 8 equals 9. 9 is the number of endings, and also 9 is the number of accomplishments. It's sort of like graduation period with a 9 universal month. It also favors all birthdays that add up to the 9. The 9th, the 18th, 1 plus 8 equals 9, and the 27th is sort of kind of pretty good for Sagittarius people, because Sagittarius is the ninth sign of the zodiac. But 9 is also the spiritual person, the spiritual mystic. And a lot of you, I suggest, should turn to any light worker, not only myself, but any light worker, astrologist, numerologist, a yogi master, a Reiki master, a crystal master. This is the time to get in touch with those type of light workers and light people during a number 9 universal month. So let's show them that one more time, control room. July 2018 is the number 9 universal month. The year is the number 11. July is the 7th month, so 7 plus 2018 in a shortcut equals the number 18. 1 plus 8 equals the number 9. And again, if you want to contact me and find out how this month is affecting you from a numerology point of view, give me a call at my contact information. Let's show them my contact information one more time. 646-389-1311. I can be found on any social media platform, at least the 3 major ones, at Z Starman, Facebook for Facebook.com, Z Starman, Twitter, Z Starman, Instagram, Z Starman, and last but not least, I'm on Facebook, Z Starman, Facebook.com, Z Starman. But the fastest way you get at me is, again, give me a call, 646-389-1311. Up next, now, as a part of the July 2018 highlights, we have a major astrological astronomy highlight, or a heavenly phenomenon highlight, that's coming up the day after Mercury retrograde begins. And if you're an Aquarius, or again, any one of the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, especially Aquarius, pay attention to this event. And the event that's coming up is the lunar eclipse. We're having a total lunar eclipse in the sign of Leo, or excuse me, in the sign of Aquarius. Now, this eclipse will be at its fullest at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon in New York City on July 27th. So it won't be visible in the sign of, or in the city of New York, or parts of North America, but it will be visible in South Africa, most of Africa, most of Europe, parts of Australia. So let's show them that map. I think we have a clip of what the lunar eclipse looks like. So there's the start of the lunar eclipse. It starts at about 1 o'clock on July 27th, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's the pre-number comes over the eclipse. Now hold it right there. Stop it. Stop it right there, control room. Stop it. Thank you. Now, this is going to be the longest eclipse of the 21st century. This eclipse, as we can see, the shaded area or the dark blue area, it's in almost all of Africa. It's in Western Australia. It's in parts of Europe and Asia. So we're having a little technical difficulty right there. So let's run it some more. So that's the total eclipse, when the moon will be the blood red lunar eclipse. And then the pre-number of the Earth comes out of it. And that's what the eclipse looks like. We can come back to me. We're having a little technical difficulty. We're in pre-retrograde mode. But to give you a closer look, and you can go to this website. This website that I use that I can visually see eclipses and stuff like that is timeanddate.com. Visit timeanddate.com and you can see the eclipse. Now, we're going to have a closer view of that eclipse. So let's show it to them again, control room, the big lunar eclipse thing that we have. If we can put that up. Okay, let's see if we can put that up. Okay, here's the moon before the eclipse on July 27th. So we can play it. Now, it's a full moon. Again, we won't see this in New York, but stop it right there. Stop it right there. Won't be in New York. But we're having a little technical difficulty on our screen. But the entire Earth is going to be covering the moon on July 27th. So we get a lunar eclipse when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon. So we can speed it up a little bit. And this is going to be a total blood red lunar eclipse, meaning once the sun, or once the Earth blocks out the light of the sun, the moon has a red surface to it. It looks red. And I was fortunate enough a couple of years ago to wake up in December at like 3 o'clock in the morning to go outside and witness one. And this is going to be a phenomenal event in Europe, in Africa, and how this event looks. There it is again, the total eclipse of Aquarius. Come back to me, please, control room. Just trying to get people to get an understanding of what this lunar eclipse is all about. It's the longest lunar eclipse again in the 21st century, and it's happening in the sign of in the sign of Aquarius. It's a full moon in Aquarius. The planet Mars is in Aquarius. Mars is retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. And the Earth, a lot of people don't talk about this. A lot of people, we always talk about where Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and all the other planets are. What sign is the Earth in? If the Earth is passing between the moon and the sun, so the Earth is in the sign of Aquarius. Stanley, I know you're watching this. Stanley is our audio man here at Astrology Numerology Now. But this is a very eventful day for Aquarius people. I got to call my son because he's an Aquarius and there's a lot of changing. The world is getting ready to change. I think we'll have some changes in big businesses, in associations, in large groups. I pray for the greater good to watch over the planet Earth, but this is a very eventful day with the lunar eclipse being in the sign of Aquarius, along with Mars in Aquarius and along with the Earth in Aquarius. Keep your eyes open. Listen to the planets speak. Listen to the world around you. Be at peace with yourself. Try not to get into arguments, disagreements, fights, and especially if you're one of the fixed signs, like Taurus, like Leo, like Scorpio, and also Aquarius. I'm worried about my Aquarius people that entire week. So watch out, keep your eyes open. That doesn't mean to go hide under the bed or hide under the covers. It's just to be mindful of what's going on around you. And again, this total eclipse of the moon is in a blood red lunar eclipse. Mars is in the sign of Aquarius. The Earth is in the sign of Aquarius. The Earth is always in the opposite sign of what the sun sign is. And the nodes, the north node is in the sign of Leo. So it's a lot of action. It's a lot of action going on, life-changing.
Let me tell you a secret I know, known the world over. Your life is controlled by the stars. Ooh, the planet of life.